Hello everyone, my name is Vishwati Paul and today I am here to give you a demo class about surveying. So the topic that I have selected for this demo class is compass survey. So I am writing the heading compass survey. So you see, today in compass survey we will basically learn about some of the basic terms which is mainly used. So without wasting any time, let us move to the terms. So the first term that we learn in compass survey is number one, that is your meridian. Meridian. So what is meridian? So the definition is, it is the reference axis. Okay, it is the reference axis. So you see, in survey, whatever the work we do, we always do it with reference to some object or with reference to some subject. So in this case, in compass survey, the reference that we generally take for any kind of readings is known as the meridian. Now let us move to the second term, that is number two. We call it as the bearing. Number two, we call it as the bearing. So first of all, let us see the definition, like what is the definition of bearing. So it is the horizontal angle which a survey line makes with the reference axis. So in this case, our reference axis is nothing but the meridian. So what is the definition of bearing? That it is the horizontal angle which a survey line makes with the reference axis. So consider this figure here. Let us say this is my quadrant and this is north, this is south, this is east and this is west. And let us say that this is my survey line. This is my survey line A and this is B. So this survey line AB, it is making, let us say, an angle of theta with the north-south line. So this north-south line, we consider it as the meridian in surveying. So this angle theta which the survey line AB is making with the meridian is known as the bearing of the survey line AB. Bearing of survey line AB. So the bearing is nothing but a horizontal angle which it makes with the north-south, or you can say the reference axis. So I hope that you understand up to this much. So you can pause the video and record whatever the thing that is written on the screen. So I have told you about the two terms, that is your meridian and the bearing. Now let us move to the third term, that is your number 3. We call it as the latitude and departure. Latitude and departure. So you see, in your last junior examination, the definition of latitude and departure was asked and it was carrying a marks of around like 2 marks. So let us see what is the definition of latitude and departure and what does it mean. So first of all, let me write what is latitude. What is latitude? So you see, a latitude is the distance measured along, or you can say parallel to the north south line. So you see, the definition of latitude is, it is the distance measured along, or you can say parallel to the north south line. Now let us see what is the definition of departure. So the definition of departure is that a departure is the distance of a survey line measured parallel to the east-west line. So you see, these are two definitions of latitude and departure. Now let us try to understand what does this definition mean actually. So for that, I'll draw a quadrant. So let's say this is my quadrant. This is north, this is south, this is east, and this is west. Now let me consider a survey line A and B, and let's say this is the angle theta which the survey line makes with the north-south axis. Now I have already told you that in surveying, in compass survey, we mainly take north-south axis as the meridian, that is your reference. So this theta is the bearing, north-south is my reference meridian, and AB is the survey line. Now let's say the length of this survey line AB, this is L. So let us find out what is your latitude of this survey line AB. So you can see the definition that a latitude is the distance measured along or parallel to the north-south line. So what is the distance of this line parallel to the north-south? So for that I will just take the projection of this line on the north and south axis. So you can see this is the projection of the line on the north-south axis. So what is this distance? So this distance, if you consider this one, if you see this figure I am drawing here, this is the figure, this is A, this is B, and let's say this is some point, you can say B dash. So you can see that this is making an angle of 90 degree. That means this is a right angle triangle having an angle of theta, and this is the length L. So in this right angle triangle, you know that this side we call it as the perpendicular, this one we call it as the base, and this side we call it as the hypotenuse. So what is our target? Our target is to find out what is this distance. That means A, B dash. So if I consider this as this right angle triangle, from here I can write that my AB dash will be equal to L, this one, cos of theta, by just considering the trigonometric formula. You can, for reference, you can see here like cos of theta, okay, I am writing downward, cos of theta is equal to, cos theta is nothing but equal to base, that is your AB dash, upon hypotenuse, that is your AB, which is nothing but equal to AB dash upon your L. So from here you can find that AB dash is nothing but L of cos theta. So this is nothing but the latitude. So your latitude is equal to, of this line, survey line AB is equal to L of cos theta. So similarly, let us find out the departure of this survey line AB. So what will be the departure of this survey line AB? So you can see the definition. A departure is the distance of a survey line measured parallel to the east or west line. So for that, what I will do, I will take the projection of this survey line AB this time on the east-west line. So this is my distance. This is my distance, and this is nothing but the departure. This is nothing but the departure. So for finding this one, I will be using the same concept that I have used for the latitude. So if you use the same concept of this triangle, then you will find that your departure, or you can say, let's say this is your B double dash. So your AB double dash will be equal to nothing but L of sin theta. You can find this using the same concept that I have used to find out the latitude. So your departure is equal to L of sin theta. So this is the concept of your latitude and departure. So you can pause the screen and note down whatever is written on the screen. So now you have understood that what is the meaning of latitude and departure. So now we'll see like what is the sign convention of latitude and departure and how it is designated. So for that, I will again draw my quadrant. This is my quadrant. This is north, this is my south, this is the east, and this is west. So this is my quadrant. Now let's say I am taking a survey line AB. This is my survey line AB. So the projection of this survey line, so if I want to find out the latitude of this survey line AB, I will just take the projection of this survey line AB on the north-south line. So we all know that if I use the concept of quadrant, that our upper side of the quadrant, with this portion we consider as the positive y-axis, this one we consider as the negative y-axis, this is the positive x-axis, and this as the negative x-axis. So when I take the projection of this survey line on the north-south axis, then I will be having a positive value of length, or you can say a positive numerical value. So this will be in, if the line lies in this quadrant, then in that case we will have our latitude to be positive. We will have our latitude to be positive. Now if I consider same thing like this AB line projection on this east-west axis, then here also you can see this is the departure, and it is on the right side, or you can say positive side of the x-axis. That means here also you will find the value of numerical value of departure to be positive, or you can say that in this case our latitude we can name it as in different form, that is northing, and our departure in this case we can write it as the, you can see it is in the east side, so it will be easting. Similarly, I can take, let's say another example, I can consider another line. Let's say this is the line. Okay, let's say this is AC. This is also a survey line. This is angle theta, and this one also angle, let's say theta. Okay, so here if I want to find out the latitude of this survey line AC, what I will do? I will take the projection of AC on the north-south line. So if I take the projection, this is the projection. So when I take the projection, this is the length, or you can say this is the distance of this survey line on this line, north-south line. So this one will be my latitude. So this latitude you can see it is where? It is on the south direction. That means your negative y-axis. So this one will be, in this case our numerical value of latitude will be negative. And let us say for departure, let's say this is D. Okay, so for finding departure, what we do? We take the projection of this survey line on east and west axis. So if I take the projection of this survey line on east and west axis, so I am finding this distance. So you can see that this distance, it is where? It is on the west side, and this west side represents the negative x-axis. That means in this case also our departure, or you can say the numerical value of our departure will be negative. So from here you can understand that how we assign the numerical value of latitude and departure. That means their sign convention. Here it is positive, here in the first quadrant it is positive, departure is also positive. If our survey line is on the third quadrant, our latitude is negative as well as departure is also negative. So here also I can write it in different form, just similar to this one. So in this case what it will be, since our latitude is on the south side, it will be known as the southing. And what will be our departure? Since it is on the west side, we will call it as the westing. So you can easily see, like latitude in this case will be, we can call it as northing, departure in this case we can call it as easting, latitude in this case we can call it as southing, and departure in this case we can call it as westing. So I can similarly assign for these two quadrants, like in this quadrant what will be the sign convention of latitude? If there is a survey line, then it will be positive and your departure will be negative. You can find it in similar way that I have explained. And in this quadrant, that is your second quadrant, this quadrant, your latitude will be negative, but your departure will be positive. So this is the sign convention of latitude and departure. For simplicity, I am drawing here again, I am just writing the sign convention. North, south, east and west. Latitude will be positive, departure will be negative. Latitude will be negative, departure will be positive. So this is positive. Here latitude will be your positive, but your departure will be negative. Similarly here, both latitude and departure, they will be negative. So here latitude we can say northing, and departure we can say easting. Here latitude will be your southing and departure will be easting. Similarly, if I go for this one, then your latitude will be southing and departure will be westing. And finally, in this one, your latitude will be northing and departure will be your westing. So this is the whole concept of latitude and departure, along with their definition and along with their sign convention. So I hope that you guys easily understood that what is the meaning of meridian, what is the meaning of bearing, and what is the meaning of latitude and departure. So you can pause this video and you can record whatever the data, or you can say whatever is written on the screen. So I will conclude here my lecture for this demo version of the class. For full version of the class, we'll do it in the regular online classes. Thank you everyone.